everybody! I wanted to make this video today to discuss 3 places worth drawing in person in Los Angeles. So I know a lot of times these days artists draw from their phone or from a photograph. And they'll look at their phone and then they'll draw, look at their phone, draw, or if it's a photograph, look at the photograph, draw, look at the photograph, draw. But I think what's actually really awesome is to draw in real life instead of looking at a phone or a photograph, to actually look at the landscape or the building in person. And so you're not just looking at a phone, you're looking at a whole landscape or a whole building and drawing. So I have 3 places that I suggest for drawing in person in Los Angeles. And the first place that I'm going to suggest for drawing in person is the beach in Santa Monica. You know, beaches in general are awesome places to draw in person. There are so many different things that you could draw: the water, the sand, or different monuments. And I actually decided to draw a lifeguard stand in Santa Monica. It's actually lifeguard stand number 27. You can maybe kind of read right here. Not really, it's covered. It's covered by the balcony, I guess. What would you call that? The railing of the lifeguard station. But yeah, this is my drawing, and see, it says Santa Monica, June 14th, 2021, 7 p.m. When I draw in person, I like to put the time. As you can see, it's not a done drawing, but it took me about half an hour to 40 minutes to draw this drawing, and I wanted to show what I drew at the time. Instead of showing a perfect finished drawing, I wanted to show what I drew on location. Not later, because now I can come back and fix up this drawing. But this is what I drew in real life. And I drew this actually in 2-point perspective. And you can see these are the 2 vanishing points that I used. And I'm not going to go over, 2-point, 1-point perspective, 3-point perspective. But you can go ahead and Google 2-point perspective if you're interested, and that is the method I used to draw this. So the beach in Santa Monica is an awesome place to draw in person. Another place that's really cool to draw in person is Descanso Gardens. Descanso Gardens is in La Cañada Flintridge, I believe, but if it's not in that city, it's nearby. That's a part of Los Angeles. And Descanso Gardens does have a sad history. It is a very beautiful place, and I drew the water fountain, one of the water fountains at Descanso Gardens. And you see I put the info up here. It says water fountain study June 7th, 2021, Descanso Gardens, and I drew this at 7:30 p.m. And I really studied the way that the water worked in the water fountain. Then some would just fall here, created these like circles right here and here. So it's just really fascinating to see the way that the water fall and really like studying it. Okay, now I also went to Descanso Gardens. This was June 7th, but I also went to Descanso Gardens in I think April of 2021, and I drew tulips. They had tulips at the time, so these are some tulips that I drew. My last place that I suggest drawing in person in Los Angeles is the Angeles National Forest. The Angeles National Forest is very high up in Los Angeles. It's actually above the San Fernando Valley, and I think probably the most famous trail is Switzer Falls in the Angeles National Forest, but I actually went to a trail that I think is more obscure called George's Gap, and I actually drew a tree that's actually, it's like up against a cliff kind of, or it's up against the dirt kind of on the trail going up. And you can see this is kind of my least done drawing of the ones that I've shown you. I drew it in person, and this one I'm actually going to go ahead and finish up just because it might be hard to even look at right here. I'm going to go ahead and show you the finished version of that drawing. So those are the three places I suggest drawing in person in Los Angeles: the Santa Monica Ocean, Descanso Gardens, and the Angeles National Forest. Now there's obviously other really awesome places to draw in person in Los Angeles. Other places that I would suggest for drawing in LA would be Point Fermin in San Pedro. It is a lighthouse. I think lighthouses are awesome monuments to draw. There's also Point Vicente. I'm not sure where that is, if it's like Palos Verdes, but that's another lighthouse that's very beautiful to draw. Also, there's a church at Palos Verdes called Wayfarers Chapel, I believe. It's a completely see-through church, and it's very beautiful. So those are other places that I definitely think are worth drawing at, and also the Griffith Park Observatory is another one. Thank you so much for checking out this video.